much. Great pleasure to always talk to you, Sam. Nice to see you. I just saw M. Night, and we were talking about Unbreakable, and I said that it was such an iconic film to me, and he said, oh, but at the time, no one really appreciated it. But it's just, I'm like, what, where?
He can't take a compliment. He cannot take a compliment. Okay, fine. Right.
Did you feel at the time that Elijah Price had a bit more juice to him? Were you happy much later on when you were asked to do him again?
Well, yeah. I mean, he told us when we were doing Unbreakable that it was part of a trilogy. So it was always, where's the other two movies? What's going on? So when he called and said he'd made a movie called Split and he wanted me to watch it, and I was like, what's that got to do with, what we talk about all the time? And he's like, just watch it. Well, I watched it. I called him and said, so? And he said, well, if this movie makes money, we'll make the other part. This will be the third part. I was like, okay. So now I get it.
All these years, he's kept his same passion and enthusiasm and
Really?
obsession with his stories,
I didn't
right?
know that. I would never know that. He's making all these other movies, so no, I didn't know anything about that.
What do you love most about him?
Night?
Yes.
Well, I like the fact that my agents and managers tell me my biggest pitfall when I go to work is that I'm always prepared in an interesting sort of way. I know what I want to do. I've done the homework. I know how I want to go approach something and do it. Knight's that guy. That's the great thing about him. He knows what he wants to do. He knows how he wants to do it. He knows how long he wants to spend doing it. And that's a good thing for me. Preparation.
Preparation is key.
Yeah.
Do you share Elijah Price's obsession with, or love, let's say, for comic books and what they bring to audiences and readers in terms of imagination and
I don't know that he has an obsession or love for comic books. He has a belief in something that's, part of a comic book world. I go to the comic book store about once a month. I was just in the I'm in the comic book store enough that when I'm gone, like I am now, or I'm on location when I show back up at home, I can go in the comic book store. There's a box full of comics that they prepared for me because they know I've been gone. So
you are enough of a
I guess I do, yeah.
Was it the same when you were in childhood?
When I was a
and
kid,
which ones were they?
Rule in my house when I was a kid was for every 5 comic books I read, I had to read a classic. Mm-hmm. And that was before they had graphic novels. So I was reading like those thin, 5-cent, 10-cent comics.
Let's talk about Bruce Willis. Do you guys share a historic cinematographical chemistry because you've been in so many movies together?
Really? How many?
Well,
come on. You counted it. Come on, how many?
Let's see if I can count enough. So there was a Die Hard, there's a Pulp Fiction, and now 2 Unbreakable Glass. More? Is there more? Do you know? Now you put me on the spot.
National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon.
Ah, okay. So?
What
No?
about it?
No, I forgot one.
There's another one?
There is another one?
I don't know.
Okay. But do you have that kind of chemistry where you can kind of,
Oh,
tease
Bruce
each
and
other?
I, yeah. We've worked together enough that, we have a rhythm for working together when we, fall back into the dynamics of being on screen together. Yeah, it works out very well. And it's always good to, work with people that you're familiar with, even in, different settings and different kinds of films and how you approach them or what the approach of the two characters are and what their relationships are in those particular films.
True. And James McAvoy, I told him if he were ever to teach acting, he should just tell them to just do the Kevin and his 23 friends kind of game. Just do it.
That'd be kind of, yeah. Well, it's very different watching somebody do what he does. Eddie Murphy's very capable of doing, stuff like that. But interestingly enough, when you watch, Dr. Dolittle or those films, they've taken the time to make him up as different family members, so he's doing a whole thing where there's a whole thing, a whole conversation among people, but not at the same time. It's like, so when I'm in a situation with him and I'm sitting there watching him and there's 4 different people, talking to me in one particular scene that he's embodied, it's awesome to watch as Sam Jackson. And as Elijah, it's inspiring because he knows that, this is a very unique individual that excites him in a whole nother way.
Yeah, he becomes a kind of a muse to him.
It's kind of nice.
In a way.